it's down to 3. 1,300 metres only to go. They're getting very animated in the square. The crowd are waiting. And you are looking at the trio of contenders. Valverde does not want this to be a mugging game. Equally, he doesn't want to put too much into the ascent. I think this is going to be Stibar versus Valverde. The crowd rise. They know that these guys have got it. At the moment, Valverde is worried that he's going to guide Stibar in. And there goes Van Aert. He's attacked. He's having some fun with this. Oh, but can Valverde match him? And his picture's momentarily. There he is. Valverde tries to get back on his wheel. Stibar staying with him. Stibar looks very, very strong in the white. Oh, and goes again. Greg Van Aert is kicked off, and Stibar is the stays with him. Oh, and goes Pop. There goes Valverde. He has been beaten. So it's between these two men. Are we going to have a last corner crescendo to this? It certainly looks that way. Stibar's on his case. Stibar time trialing his way back over to Van Aert. But Stibar comes through. Last turn it is going to be as they come into Il Campo. This is absolutely superb. And it's Stibar that's out front. He's going to make the turn into the square. The roar is going to go up. And I believe that this man knows he's been beaten. There it is. What a piece of strategy it has been. Felix Stibar comes in. He's getting the applause right now. And he's believing in the victory. Here he comes. The flashlights are there. He makes the big turn. He comes into the blazing sunshine of the square. It's almost illuminated from the heavens. And what a heavenly performance he's been for Felix Stibar. Thank you very much. He said, this one's mine. And you know what? He's absolutely right. Stage results confirmation. Stibar takes it. A margin of 2 seconds over Greg Van Aert. Valverde 18 seconds adrift before Van Mark came across the line by himself.
On his wheel, it looked like it was Stibar.
We wondered when he was going to make his move, but there is your answer. Peter Sagan, Vincenzo Nibali in trouble there at the back. The Italian champion, winner of all 3 Grand Tours, not able to respond as the impetus at the front stretches things out. We've got Peter Sagan, we've got Zdeněk Stibar on his wheel, the 2 off-road experts. Is that Fabian Cancellara making his move? We said he was going to have to go long, and he is going long. Who can get onto the back wheel of this man right now? He's putting his move in when probably everyone was least expecting it. He's looking to add his name to the winners list for a 3rd time. A super hard edition of the race throughout. Very, very windy indeed, and that's made a big difference. Brambilla, though, goes on the attack. The man that's been out the longest of the quartet here at the front from Etixx Quick-Step makes his move, and there's no response so far from the 3 behind.
Still the lead hovering between 6 and 8 seconds. But as we know, he's been out in front for a very, very long time. If you take into account the early breakaway. What an absolutely superb ride by the rider from Etixx Quick-Step. Rounding the final corner. It looks like it's in the bag for this rider.
Fabian Cancellara doing his best behind to close the gap. Zdeněk Stibar looks, though, as though he's the strongest of the trio behind. They're only a handful of seconds behind Brambilla. It's been 3 years now since an Italian has won this race. Moreno Moser, the only Italian ever to win it before, but it looks like he's going to be caught. Fabian Cancellara has caught Gianluca Brambilla. He's got Zdeněk Stibar on the wheel. Just a couple of corners now before they're coming into the finish here in Siena. Can Cancellara take this race for a 3rd time? Can Stibar take this for the 2nd time in a row? It's all to play for. Brambilla caught heartache for the Italian rider. They crest the penultimate corner. Everybody's waiting for them here in the final in Siena. What an exciting race. Fabian Cancellara takes the win. What a finale to the 10th edition of this race.
Dan, I do not know what to say. Where did Fabian Cancellara find the power and also the tactical, the skill to round one of the finest bike handlers in the world? Power, skill, tenacity. What an absolutely superb race. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, their confirmation then of your top 10. Fabian Cancellara outsprints Zdeněk Stibar, last year's winner, to take a famous victory. Brambilla in 3rd, Sagan 4th, Vakoc 5th, Greg Van Aert 6th.
Kilometres of asphalt roads, and in fact, though it's a group of 7, I missed that Kwiatkowski had attacked off the front. And about 20 or 30 metre advantage for the former winner of Team Sky, former world champion. That new casque helmet on the front. Is this the race-winning move? But today is all about this man, Michał Kwiatkowski, world champion back in 2015. He's had an up and down couple of years since then, but this year he's already shown some brilliant consistency, and he's over the top of the last climb now.
Over the top of the climb. He's loving the applause now. He knows he's got enough in the bag in terms of the time gap. Urged on by the crowd. The fight for second place ensues behind, but it's now all about Michał Kwiatkowski.
And he has the time and the opportunity to whip the crowd up into a frenzy and take his second victory at the Strade Bianche. Well done, Michał Kwiatkowski.
Absolutely fantastic victory for Kwiatkowski. It looks like it's going to be the Olympic champion, Greg Van Aert, Poel Sagan, who takes second place.
Second place for Van Aert. Tim Wellens in third place on the day. He'll be on the third step of the podium shortly.
What road they go? Big wide roads here. Van Aert just disappearing. He's time trialling himself away. What a versatile rider. He's got 500 metres to the finish line and only about 150 metres before the road flattens out and he turns right-handed and he can start to coast home and to analyse his celebration. One check over his right shoulder just to see that all is in order and that no one is anywhere to be seen. He's done the hard bit and now all he has to do is ride through the centre of Siena. He rode away from a very, very select group of riders on those famous white roads. He made them his own, and he's made this race his own. Wout van Aert, the man who has bossed cyclocross until the advent of Mathieu van der Poel, comes to road racing and takes his biggest win bar none. A fantastic ride by a great champion as Wout van Aert. His dream goes into fulfilment, and he finally has Strade Bianche. Let's have a look at the top 10 then. Diego Rosa picking up the top 10. Michael Gorby making it into the top 10. Rick Van Aert 8. Redwood Walter, great result for him. Stubar 6th.
When you see the time...
Van Aert pressing on, and this is an important selection. Look at the way it's absolutely split to bits. Rolling and twisting and winding its way. It's a challenge to keep the bike upright. It's a challenge athletically and physically to be able to follow this kind of pace. Still finely poised, but up to 25 seconds, and you wonder if they've broken the resolve of the group behind. And what a difference that sector made. Just 800 metres long, but look what it's done to the group. And Tadej Pogačar starting to suffer a little bit. So how the fortunes flicker as Mathieu van der Poel goes. Van der Poel attacks. He lights the blue touch paper and goes for glory. Julian Alaphilippe in his wake rides a bigger gear. It's Bernal next up. But Mathieu van der Poel, the sheer power of this man as he stretches clear of the rest. And he needs to make the most of it because he reaches the top of this hill. They wind around right and left past the church. And it looks to me as if Julian Alaphilippe within touching distance of the Dutch star. Egan Bernal next up. Who'd you pick out of this three? Well, so far, the last searing attack was amongst the most impressive we've seen. Mathieu van der Poel. Previous to that, of course, Van der Poel had to close a gap or two. It's Mathieu van der Poel in front. Egan Bernal is still there, stalking the two in front. Van der Poel goes! Van der Poel goes for glory! And Alaphilippe can't respond. Daylight opens. Van der Poel opens the gap. Van der Poel for glory here. Bernal is vanquished. Alaphilippe will fight to try and get on terms. But first round the turn and onto the flat road is Mathieu van der Poel and into the final 500 metres. Mathieu van der Poel has opened up the daylight that will surely carry him to glory. Across the slabs, and the road will plunge down and down towards the final right-hand turn, and he's done all the hard work. Mathieu van der Poel launching the searing series of attacks that are going to take him to glory today. Alaphilippe continues to believe with 250 metres it's not going to happen for the world champion. The 2019 champion is going to watch as another new champion is crowned. Into Piazza del Campo comes Mathieu van der Poel at the head of affairs. He's celebrating already. The Dutch national road race champion has delivered in fine style. He takes victory in Strade Bianche 2021 ahead of Julian Alaphilippe and Egan Bernal coming home for a fine third place finish for Team Ineos Grenadiers. He'll be home shortly. Already celebrating and considering what he's done is Mathieu van der Poel. But there's confirmation of the finishing order at the conclusion of another enthralling edition of Strade Bianche, with Mathieu van der Poel taking the win by 5 seconds from Julian Alaphilippe. Egan Bernal getting up for third ahead of Wout van Aert, Tom Pidcock, back to Google. Tadej Pogacar, Simon Clark in 8th place, leading that group home ahead of Jakob Fuglsang and Peo Bilbao.